Now, the Gardaí have stated that 75% of burglaries are carried out by 25% of burglars. And we need to put measures in place to get them off the streets and to keep them off the streets. It is far easier to secure evidence and a conviction in relation to the handling of stolen goods than actually for burglary, because it's much easier to prove possession than to catch people in the act. And the Gardaí tell me that it is very, very difficult to secure a conviction in the first place in relation to burglary unless they catch the individual in the act, or that there is forensic evidence linking them back to that particular home. However, if the Gardaí at these checkpoints can actually stop the individuals who are in possession of materials that have been stolen from a home or a particular location, they can prosecute them for possession. But the difficulty is we're back to the same problems that we have again, that possession is not treated as serious as burglary, and we again have the situation where they're concurrent rather than consecutive sentences. So I think, Minister, we need to strengthen the law here to deal with those caught in possession of stolen goods, because, as you've said yourself, one of your objectives is to try and cut out the routes for the sale and distribution of stolen goods. So I think it is important that the law in this area is strengthened. The other thing I think that needs to be done, Minister, is that we need additional circuit court sittings to deal in some parts of the country with the backlog that we have. And we need to appoint additional circuit court judges, maybe on a floating panel, to deal with the backlog as it arises in different parts of the country. Because I'm being told that one of the reasons why the judiciary are so generous in relation to bail is that in some parts of the country it's taking up to 2 years for a case to come to court, and if the timeline was far less, the judiciary would be far more sympathetic to having that individual remain in prison until the court hearing takes place. And as you know, 33 burglaries a week are being committed by those who are out on bail, and at the same time we have 60 electronic tags available to us. 50 of them in a cardboard box gathering dust at the moment, even though the state is picking up the bill for those. And they remain in storage because the 2007 Criminal Justice Act, which allows for the tagging of people while out on bail, awaits your signature. Now, so could we not sign that legislation and have it enacted, and issue guidelines to the courts in relation to what type of individual should have the electronic tag on them? Because the law at the moment, as it is drafted and passed by this House, provides the courts with the discretion on whether to tag or not tag an individual. So what it requires, Minister, is two things. One, your signature, and two, that guidelines would be issued on what type of an individual where the electronic tagging would apply to. It's a way to fast-track and introduce tagging literally tomorrow morning, Minister. With your signature, it can be brought in that where someone avails of free legal aid for criminal offences and they're back before the courts again and again, then there should be a clawback on their social welfare or on their other income in relation to those court costs. There's no cost on them. When they come out of prison at the end of it, they'll have their loot, they'll still have their social welfare or what other income that is available to them. And surely, Minister, if we're introducing in this House the attachment of earnings on someone who doesn't pay their television licence, has a fine imposed on them, and we're taking away some of their social welfare to pay for that, or some of their income to pay for that, I don't think it is too much to ask if someone is coming before the courts again and again, is using the court system to delay justice and the enforcement of justice, that when they have an income that some of that income should be used to contribute towards the cost of their legal representation in the first place.